Hey guys, what's up? It's Justin, aka Diego, and today I want to talk about some of the Cataclysm changes for Paladins as a class as a whole, not just protection. So I'm just jump right into it. If you guys want to read this yourselves, I'm gonna post the link to MMO Champion. I don't know the new format. Is it down there? Is it over there? I'm not sure. Just it's MMO Champion. I'll post a link down there or over there, whatever the fuck the sidebar is. But let me pull it up right here. Let's jump right into it. At level 81, then we're getting a new ability. It's called Blinding Shield. Basically, what it does is it causes damage and blinds all nearby targets. The effect might be only damage targets facing the Paladin's shield. It's kind of going to have the same effect as Edric the Pure. I think I'm saying that right. The ability called Radiance in Trial of the Champion. You remember how that is when you're tanking that guy or when you're fighting that guy. If you're facing him when you cast that, you get blinded and disoriented for a little bit. So you got to turn your back to him. So it's going to have the same effect. This ability is going to have a 2-second cast time. I don't know what the cooldown on it's going to be, but they didn't say what the cooldown on it's going to be, but in the Holy Tree, it's going to have a talent to increase the damage and critical strike chance. It's going to be predominantly, I would think, for PvP, because I would think that any damage while these people are stunned breaks the effect. So Retributions can't use it because you need a shield to use it. Obviously, I know Retributions can equip a shield and a one-hander in combat, so they might do that. I'm saying you might do that as a Retribution Paladin. If it's going to be viable, I don't know. We don't know yet, but prop Paladins are going to have a talent that's going to make it no cast time, so we're going to be able to use it instantly. Like I said, sounds like it's going to be a PvP talent. In PvE, I want to see if it. I don't think it's gonna have much viability because, like I said, it's probably gonna the disorient effect is probably gonna be broken. It's gonna be like a blind from a rogue. So I think any damage to that target is going to break if they're blinded. So I don't know how that's going to shape out, but it sounds pretty cool for PvP. Retribution Paladins will probably abuse it by equipping a shield. All these changes are subject to change. All these talents are subject to change. Nothing's in concrete. These are just, like I said, it's just a preview. And Blizzard always says, we might change it, we might change it. And what they're going to do is they're going to test it. They're going to see what's overpowered. They're going to see how people are abusing these talents. They're going to see what they did wrong, and then they'll balance around that. So the next talent that we're getting is at level 83 called Healing Hands. And what it is, I'll read it verbatim here. Healing Hands is a new healing talent. A paladin radiates heals from himself or herself, almost like a healing stream. It has a short range, but a long enough duration to where the paladin can cast other heals while it's casting. So it's not a channel or anything like that. It's just something that you pop and it heals around you. Again, obviously a holy talent. There's going to be holy talents. I assume they're going to make this stronger, but they are going to give it's going to be a paladin-wide class talent. So Retributions can use it, Paladins can use it. If it's going to be viable in both PvP and PvE, probably both situations, but it's going to probably be minimal. I would assume that it heals for very, very, very small amount. So it's going to be, whether you want to use that GCD to use a defensive ability or an attack or heal yourself. So I don't know if, it sounds like it's going to be a predominantly holy talent. And the last talent that we're getting is called Guardian of the Ancient Kings. It summons a temporary guardian that looks like a winged creature of light with a sword, armed. It's going to be armored, apparently, from what it says. I don't know. Armored angel? Who knows? Sounds cool. But the visual is similar to the resurrection spell used by the Paladin Warcraft 3. I don't know what that looks like, but I'm going to Google it right after this. So it has a different effect based on what talent spec you are. So for Retribution Paladins, it's going to act like a gargoyle from a Death Knight. It's going to attack your opponent. For Protection Paladins, it's going to absorb incoming damage, some incoming damage it says. And then for Holy, it's going to heal the most wounded target in the area, which is pretty cool. It's a smart heal. That's a 3-minute cooldown on a 30-second duration. So that's a pretty good cooldown for all classes. It's pretty self-explanatory. I can't wait to test that one out. That's going to be fun. But that's basically the 3 new talents that we're getting. So and then Holy Shock is also going to be a base talent. Which is kind of interesting as a protection paladin. I'm wondering, because Holy Shot can be used both offensively and defensively. So it's another self heal if we need it. Obviously, Holy Paladins is going to have heal for a lot more. It's another range ability. It might make us a little bit harder to kite as ret or prot, but in PvP, but in PvE, I don't know. We'll see if that's actually got viability. Heal yourself or do damage for threat or so on and so forth. And some other things, they're changing Blessing of Might have the benefit of Blessing of Wisdom. So they're probably going to remove Blessing of Wisdom. So when you give someone Blessing of Might, they're going to have both blessings at the same time. But obviously, they're not going to see both blessings. They're going to have the same effect. The tooltip would probably be increases attack power by blah 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 and increases mana per 5 by blah 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 blah. So that would be cool. They're trying to balance 10-mans a little bit. That's the reason behind that. They don't want you to have to bring 4 paladins to a 10-man to get all the buffs. They want you to have the flexibility to have these buffs with only 2 paladins. So that's a pretty good change. Oh, Holy Shield for prot is no longer going to have charges. As of now, it has 8 charges, and once those charges are gone, Holy Shield's gone. So that's bad on AoE packs. If you guys have ever tanked all 4 adds on Heroic and Noob, those charges are gone almost instantly because those adds attack really fast. So what's really good is it's going to have the same duration probably, and the same duration and the same cooldown, but there's going to be no charges. So you're going to be able to extend your Holy Shield charges indefinitely while the duration's up, which is really, really good for AoE pulls. It's going to not change probably single target tanking too much. And they're also talking about, here I'll read it verbatim, is Protection Paladins need a different rotation between single target and multi-target tanking. So what they're probably going to do is they're probably going to give us abilities that are going to be obvious AoE tanking abilities that aren't going to have much viability in single target, which means that you are going to have to adjust your rotation being on a boss, and then say new adds get introduced, you might have to change your rotation up. It's probably not going to be as plain and simple as a 9-6-9 rotation anymore, which is cool. I mean, it now gives us, as a tank, it gives me the freedom to use other abilities as opposed to just having to stick to this one rotation that I've had to use for every case, every instance. The rotation is really good right now. I'm happy with it, but it's going to free up and make us more dominant in both areas, which is really cool. The mastery talents that they're giving, if you don't know how mastery works, is you get certain bonuses for how many points you spend in each talent tree. For Holy, the first mastery you're going to get is extra healing. The next talent is called meditation, which is basically the spirit to mana conversion that all classes are going to have. If you didn't know that, they're re-itemizing a lot of stats. So there's going to be spirit on plate, I would assume, since they're doing this. So that's their conversion to mana, is meditation. And the last one they're getting is critical healing effect. That's self-explanatory. For protection, it's damage reduction, self-explanatory. Vengeance and block amount. Block amount's pretty self-explanatory. We're going to have higher block value. Now vengeance, I don't know what this means. So maybe you guys, I don't know if it's a typo or they worded something wrong, but I'll read it verbatim. It says, this is the damage received to attack power conversion. Damage received. It's the received that's throwing me off. Like, we don't have anything that increases our attack power for damage that we take. I'm thinking maybe like it's kind of like Touched by the Light. If you guys know that talent in the prot tree, increases your holy damage by a % of attack power that you have. If you guys know, let me know. I don't really, it's confusing me, so I don't know how that's going to work. And for retribution, the first mastery you're going to get is increased melee damage, and then increased critical strike damage, and then increased holy damage. All those 3 are pretty self-explanatory. But that pretty much wraps up. Obviously, it's just a really brief preview for me. I just want to talk about what they're changing. I'm excited for it. Hope you guys are excited for it. A lot of the changes sound cool. They are going to nerf a little bit, and they are going to buff some other stuff. So we'll see how it balances all in the Cataclysm fucking expansion. So thanks for watching, you guys. Again, this is Diego. You guys have a good one.